Maybe.
Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of Pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanger. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome in, everyone, to the Undrafted Uncensored, where apparently it's receipt season because Prime is keeping track of all those bad boys. His wallet must look like my grandpa's. Holy cow.
I thought you were going to go with the Costanza wallet.
I was almost going to go there, but I figured, grandpa's just as good of a comparison, But let me just pose a question first before we get going.
Yes.
How do you, as a coach who has a coach's show on a certain network that's got 3 letters attached to its name, have one of those reporters come to your opening press conference, try to ask you a question, and you basically say, shut up and get out. I'm not dealing with your company right now. I am mad at you. I'm throwing a hissy fit, but I'll see you next week when I go to my coach's show on your network.
Will he, though, or does he boycott the coach's show? Did he realize that CBS carries his coach's show? I'm not sure if he necessarily did. So does he now double down on his stupid fucking statements and actually boycott his own coach's show because it's CBS?
I don't know. I mean, those checks are going to stop flowing if he doesn't make that appearance. So I'm pretty sure number one on Prime's list is his kids, followed by his money, followed by his kids' money. And then
I guess religion, and then the team.
Yeah, I guess religion, yeah. And then what's left of his foot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he's not worried about the check from CBS, the local CBS affiliate. But, yeah, he was a little salty. I'm wondering what has happened in these last few weeks. Maybe he is trying to build up some more of that, fake stuff, fake news, whatever, where it's not, there's nothing there. Like, he's just trying to give the guys a reason to be angry about everything. I feel like this was all the other teams CU played last year, especially after CSU. They all had something to say about Prime or something that they were going against to beat them. Like, oh, this is the darling. They're the one that everyone loves. Game Day was there twice in a row. They're nobody. And they were the hotshots. And maybe Prime just wants to give them some more fight and show them he's fighting for them. I don't really know, because I think this is really out of left field. And right field, left field, whatever. It's out of any field that he can't catch it.
Because he played baseball.
And I don't understand where it's coming from, but, so you had a bad day.
Yeah, I mean,
You're taking one down.
Yes.
Because I had a bad day.
I wish I had that ready.
I wish I knew more words to that song. I'm glad I knew the next part at least. Something.
But like,
turn it around.
You saw how this team was put together last year. You saw how it was going. Yeah, they started out like a rocket, man. They took off, and CSU kind of wore them down a little bit. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because it's what happened. And then from there, the season just kind of just fell apart. And yeah, some of it was, you lose one of your best players to injury. And that was obviously where your offense was built around. But, you can't blame these guys for writing what they're writing. And I mean, some of these guys some of this stuff's going to get out. If you are, God forbid, a football team bully a kid or make fun of them we've all played sports. We've all played organized sports at least the high school level. And kids are mean. People are mean.
Yeah.
Football is mean. Football is a mean sport. Football is not meant to be huggy, kissy, touchy feely. It's meant to, I'm going to kill you. Not literally, but you have to have that mindset of, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
You
I
stand
am
between
here
me and
to
what I'm doing.
fuck you up.
And so I don't understand how you can be so mad that another team is more aggressive than you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the stuff that came out, and I think Prime has been on the defensive since these stuff came out from the Athletic or from Athlon, not the Athletic. Excuse me, Athlon Sports.
Yeah.
Make sure I get that correct, because usually the Athletic has pretty.
Sorry,
good
Athletic. We approve of everything you say.
Yes, but what has come out from Athlon, the gentleman who wrote it, I will find that and get credit where credit is due.
He was on Levitar the other day, right?
I think so. I haven't been able to catch any of his other stuff, but he's done some rounds. Porter, yes, but he says that he has people and that his sources are good, so he's not backing down. And one thing that in particular that I heard, which I know Joe heard also because I heard it on Mr. Dan Jacobs this afternoon, you haven't heard Prime go on the defensive or deny any of these allegations. And there's a lot of reason for that. You don't want them taking a closer look at stuff, but anything can happen behind closed doors. Nick, you talked about that, and football is a tough sport, but you don't have your eyes on these players 24/7.
No.
And things happen no matter what. There are idiots everywhere. On every team. There's going to be one guy who thinks it's cool because other people did it and some sort of hazing. You know, the thing that I really push back at is the whole idea of Cormani McClain, who's now in Florida, barely hanging on in Florida, by the way. 5-star recruit who can't seem to get it together, who has no reason at all to say anything good about the University of Colorado or the Buffs or Prime. They let him go. He didn't get any playing time. He has no reason to say anything good. And he hasn't had a bad thing to say about the Buffs or his experience there or the 5 slaps that he took allegedly. That's where I sit. That's where I sit and say, yeah, there's probably some stuff going on. Hopefully it's not as bad as what the article that Porter wrote was, but we don't know. And we might not ever know what exactly happened and transpired in the locker rooms, and maybe if it's overblown or even if it's it's actually a much bigger story and should be a bigger story, we might not ever know, because it seems like it's going to get pushed away somehow, some way, and maybe that's what Prime was doing. He was trying to make him the target and take it off of what was happening with the team and get people angry at him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a good possibility. We've seen him fall on the sword for his team. That is who he is. He's that guy. And so, he's going to defend his boys as far as he can, as long as he can. I mean, nobody's really said much about anything with Shedeur since it came out.
Yeah.
No.
And he's seen this work before. I'm not going to get into, political opinions or anything like that, but we've seen Donald Trump use crazy statements to distract from other things. Not necessarily every time he said anything, but it's worked before. So, Dion could just be saying that, you know what, at the end of the day, if I, take some bad publicity and end up sort of making a fool out of myself, at least there won't be nearly as much scrutiny on the other thing. And then I can apologize later and move on. And then hopefully he just doesn't keep doing that.
But hopefully he doesn't keep doing that's the biggest part, though, because that's part of learning is not making the same mistake twice.
Yeah. That's what my mom used to say. She was like, Joe, don't make the same mistake twice. Come up with new and interesting mistakes every time.
Right? And
if you're going to screw up, just do it a different way next time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's plenty of ways to do it. We've all found different ways to do it. I don't know. I was intrigued by that. It was interesting. I figured it'd be a good way to start off because.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I screwed up with not having my plates on today. That's a first for me. First time I've ever been pulled over and not had to worry about going to jail.
What do you mean it's supposed to be attached? Oh, my fault. Did you just not put them on? Because you got the undrafted plates.
My temp tag is still in my window.
Oh,
All the
okay.
damn story. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of it, Nick, but all the stories of people's temp tags getting stolen and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. I'll put it in my window, and thank God I stopped drinking, because if anyone pulled me, I was not worried at all to get pulled over. I was like, we're good. Doesn't matter. Like here, but it did take me longer because you know what? I think he ran the tag wrong. He's like, when did you get this? He came back, so he had to take the plate from the back of the car, unless this is one of your little tricks to get in the back seat that was completely clear. But he had to take the tag back, and I think he thought it might have been stolen. Tag.
What they're doing a lot too is they're making them, so it's maybe something about it might have been looking like it was fake, or it was similar numbers to a fake one, because they use the same numbers typically. They just change the dates.
Yeah, but he came back and he was like, it didn't come through. I was like, huh? I was like, what do you mean? It's like, it's my car. I know it is. I just took it through the mountains for a drive.
He's not going to car jail. He's not going to car jail.
Yeah.
I've been driving it all over the state. That's not better.
Well, I mean, the tags and everything should be good, but it was, there's a new way to do everything, I guess, to get out of my whatever dumbass story. Getting pulled over on the way to the show. So you're right. You can find a new way to distract from stuff. There was a moment while I was there and he was there, especially when he came up and he's like, College State Patrol, just let you know you're being recorded. I kind of wanted to act drunk. and I was like, I got a show to do. I shouldn't screw with this guy. He literally was like, I see you have your tag there. As long as everything checks out, you'll go with the warning. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'm not going to be an idiot when he's like, I'm going to give you a warning and you're on your way. So what I thought was going to be a quick stop, but yes, you can find a new way to distract and a new way to do things all the time.
That's true. Also, one of my favorite things about that little press conference, when he's having the conversation with, I want to say it's when he tries to cut off the CBS guy. I'm pretty sure. He cuts him off and he's like, no, I won't answer your questions. And so the next reporter goes to ask the next question, and he tries like 2 or 3 times. And so you'll hear the guy's like, no, I don't want to answer your question. Then you hear Joe Rico, Mile High Sports. And then, of course, they keep, he's like, they talk for a little bit more and then, get a little quiet. And then Joe Rico, Mile High Sports. So there's actually an undrafted, uncensored connection to that press conference because we had Joe Rico as a guest. So there you go.
Yes, we did.
I'll have to bring him back on and see what get his take on that press conference.
Yeah, right? Get a vibe check. He was in the room.
Right. Well, here we are, gentlemen. It's that time. It's Stiddy time. Stiddy, get it? Stiddy time. If I had a Stidham jersey, it would have been a lot funnier, but I didn't go get one because
don't.
No.
I mean, they're on sale.
I'm sure they are.
They have them on sale.
I know they do, but I don't want to spend money on a guy that's going to be around for another 3 weeks.
He's the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos
in preseason.
that means everything, doesn't it?
I mean, he's joining the ranks of such Broncos legends like Mark Sanchez,
Tim Tebow.
Wait, was Mark Sanchez the starter in a preseason? He had to start a preseason.
Yeah,
he wasn't behind someone.
It was Sanchez, Simeon, and Paxton Lynch. It was Sanchez.
That's right. God.
He started at least one. Simeon might have started at least, some of the other ones. Simeon was better, played better, and that's why. And Sanchez was fucking awful, and they released him. There was that hilarious 2 or 3 plays where Sanchez throws a horrible pick, then immediately we get a pick because the defense was still good, and then Sanchez does a Jay Cutler bloop, just fumbles it, and they get the ball back immediately.
I remember that series. Yeah,
we traded a draft pick for this. I was so mad.
We love Jets trash quarterbacks. Look, we got Zach Wilson also. Send them all. So keep them coming. Wait, didn't the Broncos get Joe Flacco right after the Ravens? He wasn't a Jet before he was a Bronco, right? He was a Jet.
No, yeah, he was a Raven first.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was the Raven first. He came from the Ravens.
He was a Jet after.
Yeah. Well, that means we're going to sign Geno Smith as a backup to Bo Nix in the next couple of years.
So this is how it works for the Broncos. This is what I figured out. All right, so the Broncos take their trash. Whatever trash that we think is here as far as quarterback goes back to the Jets and has a great year and saves themselves for another 4 or 5 seasons. Because Joe Flacco with the Jets, him and not Cedric Wilson, that's a wide receiver.
Oh, there's
from
a
the past.
throwback.
Garrett Wilson were freaking unbelievable for most of the season, and then he got hurt, and that was bad.
Flacco ran out of gas.
Yeah, Flacco ran out, but he and Wilson had a connection out there.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, almost as good as the Flacco Amari Cooper connection.
It was surprising, that's for sure. I didn't think he'd last that long. I thought he was maybe like a 2 or 3 week kind of quarterback before he fell off the cliff, but he managed to make it almost to the finish line.
And I guess I have to kind of retract my statement because I forgot about one Timmy Tebow going to the Jets.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It didn't work. I thought about it for a second. Only one I could think of was Flacco right away, and I was like, oh yeah.
That Tebow guy.
Right.
Yeah, that was. I think that offsets any good that Flacco did. I mean, he raised their jersey sales. That's for damn sure.
Oh yeah, he made them some money. That's for sure.
That did happen.
Why more teams didn't jump on that just for you need them for a month. All those Tebow people jump on, get a Tebow jersey. You know, there's $100,000 right there, and then boom, you're gone.
I want to get a Tim Tebow Jaguars tight end jersey.
Custom.
Oh Lord.
You could. I guarantee you could custom one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I feel like they probably made some.
No. Not official ones.
No. Okay, because that would have felt right, you know.
No,
Tim Tebow comes back in the league for a year, and they make a limited printing of Tim Tebow Jaguars jerseys.
You know, the moment that he was traded to the Jets, those people in the factory were on automatic overtime, just printing Jets Tebow jerseys. Like they were on hold waiting for that. Much like I'm sure, probably less so, but much like Favre when he decided to go to the Jets. Like when offseason happens and these trades happen, you got to imagine. Talk about busy times in your year, no matter where you're at. Like the offseason, free agency signing period. Holy crap. They must be working like 12-hour days every day of the week, getting all the jerseys sent out. I didn't even think about that because you got to do new ones for all of these guys. And I know a lot of it's automated and it's Fanatics. Or no, it's not Fanatics. So they don't.
Yeah, it is.
So, is it Fanatics?
Mm-hmm.
For NFL?
Yep.
Are they still? No, they're Nike still.
I was like, I didn't think Fanatics was NFL.
No, I think you're right. I think it's Nike still. I think Nike still has.
Yeah, because they're the aren't they the I can't remember what it's called.
I'm pretty sure NFL.com says like a Fanatics store.
Well, they sell them in the store. This Fanatics has the contract.
Nike Vapor Fuse. Yeah, Nike Vapor Fuse is the Vapor Fuse are the game day or game ones.
Okay. Because
Nike is the
has
game
the contract for MLB too.
Yeah, it's a Fanatics store, but
the game
Fanatics
ones are still Nike. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Fanatics wouldn't care about misprinting or sending out crappy product, but the Nike factory is definitely working overtime to make sure everyone's right.
Yeah, man, those kids, they're just pumping them out, and they're the quality control is the older kids. They're making sure.
The 11-year-olds.
Yeah. Those 10-year-olds, you can't trust them.
With their AirPods instead of their AirPods. They got them on Tuvo or whatever it is.
I sure really hope I'm living in a good world where that really is not happening anymore. At least for a company like Nike, they could afford to run a legit operation. I don't know.
Hope, but
I hope so. I really do. I mean, would I be surprised?
No,
but I hope
there's still some sweatshops out there.
I hope so. Yes.
That's where I'm leaning.
Sweatshops are for the Super Bowl T-shirts.
Yeah.
They get sent.
You get sent to Africa for the losing team.
Country. Yeah. Right?
Hey, look, you guys did great work. Here's your T-shirts back that you made. Good job. Here's your bonus.
Dude, according to all those kids, the Bills are the greatest dynasty in sports.
Ever. Oh,
Well,
man.
so we've crossed the bridge, and it's Stiddy time.
Yeah, sorry, back to
Yeah, no,
what
you're
we
good.
should be talking about.
Worth
It was
it.
fun for a minute. We needed them for a minute. I don't know. We all saw the writing on the wall. We all knew it was going to be Stidham for the first game, and I need to correct myself. I looked at the schedule wrong. Next week is Broncos Packers, and the week after is the Cardinals. I thought it was the other way around. So
That's
my
what
bad.
I was saying. I thought, yeah.
My
I was
bad.
like, when you were talking, I was
My
like, I
bad.
don't think that's right.
I stand corrected. I got my weeks mixed up, but I mean, I still think there's a method to his madness, because now you're going to send your number one quarterback out against at least a number one defense for 2 series, maybe, and you're really going to push Bo Nix and see how far he really can go. Zach Wilson doesn't need to face a number one.
Ever.
Zach Wilson isn't even playing. I thought that's what the news was.
I thought he was
Really?
just.
Didn't?
I thought he was just the third quarterback.
No, I thought he was. I thought it was only Zach or Stidham and Bo for this game. That's what I thought I heard.
Well, most preseason games, you've got the starter does a quarter, sometimes more, and then the next guy finishes out the half. Maybe he does a little bit more after that, and then another guy does the rest of the game. You know,
No,
Bo's
third
listed as third.
You know.
Bo's listed as third string quarterback right now.
I'm fully aware that that's how most preseason
Yeah.
games go, but I
Is he
thought
like
I heard that
hurt or
Zach
something?
Wilson wasn't going to be playing in this game. Let me do some quick research
Yeah,
while
do
you
your
guys
research real
go through this.
Yeah, well, you do that. Oops, wrong one. I still think there's a method to his madness. He's trying to get Bo some better reps. I think and that's why that second preseason game is why Bo is getting the nod for the number one there. You want to push him, see how far he's going, see how far he's developed, see what's left. You want to really guarantee that your guy that you drafted, that you traded up for, is in fact who you think he is. You have a couple, I don't know, quote unquote safety nets in Stidham and Wilson, but you know, you can't rely on them for too long because this Broncos fan base is not going to be very patient.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that the Broncos fans love more than a backup quarterback. So if you start a different guy than Bo Nix, oh man, they're going to be clamoring for him immediately. And there's still going to be that entire contingent of Bronco fans that are like, man, I think Zach Wilson could, or I think Jarrett Stidham, whichever one's on the roster, because they may keep all three, who knows? But I'm not sure if they will. But no, yeah, if they start somebody else week one, everyone's going to be clamoring for Bo Nix the whole time. But maybe it works out for him. Maybe it seems necessary. But I think it does make sense in the first preseason game to have Bo Nix be the last guy and play the most amount of time.
Yeah.
Even if it's with a bunch of guys that he may not have as much chemistry with, just to kind of get him in rhythm with playing in the NFL. And then he'll end up getting another start in one of the other games. Did they confirm that it's going to be the second one, or is that just
he's playing? I just don't. They don't have a thing out. Yeah, he is playing. He's not out. I thought I saw something that said that he was not going to be playing. That Wilson wasn't going to be playing in this game. So we're good.
Okay. No worries. So yeah, it'll probably go Stidham, Wilson, Bo Nix. So he'll have the most playing time because that's how it is on the depth chart too. You know, rookies at the back of the line.
Yeah, and that's how that's how much thought Sean Payton put in to the to the depth chart. I've heard some pushback on his depth chart and coming out. I honestly don't have any issue with rookies go to the back of the line.
I don't either.
For the first one, because I think that honestly, if he truly really didn't put much thought into it, then we'll see the rookies mixed in more so than just what the depth chart says. And one thing that I think that this really will prepare these guys for, or what Sean Payton and this coaching staff will see, is if these guys prepare like they're 6th, 7th, 8th on the depth chart. I'm talking obviously not just quarterbacks. I'm talking more of the wide receivers, whether Vele or Franklin, or in the running backs, Estime. Like if any of these guys prepare like they're actually the third string, or if they go out there with a chip on their shoulder and something to prove and go out and ball out. That's what I think that this coaching staff wants to see from this draft class. And so him coming in and getting a bulk of the time, I can understand that. If for Bo Nix, yeah, you want to see him in extended time, but you don't want to see a guy make a name for himself by getting a big hit on Nix in the preseason. That's what scares me.
You don't want a Bernard Pollard.
Yeah, there's plenty of stories out there. Bernard Pollard. It kind of scares me that you're putting your draft pick, the guy that you want to run this franchise. I can't seem to get my hat straight.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you are having some issues right there.
Maybe it's just the bill.
It's
just
Buffalo.
Yeah. I think the dog chewed on this one. Yeah, it's funky.
Blame the dog.
Whatever, it's off.
Around.
I could have. That's true. I could have. But so that's what scares me about having that. That scares me about Bo Nix being there. If he's at the end of the rotation and you have a bunch of backup linemen in there who aren't used to playing together, used to the calls, used to what Nix is going to be calling as far as plays go, I don't want to see him going out there with subpar talent surrounding him. That's the only thing that scares me, if someone, like I said, trying to make the names for themselves in Indy, because Indy's defense was
fine.
They were a little above average last year. They had some bad games. I think they had one that was like the 31-30, but I think that was Baltimore. It was a shootout. That was a wild game. They had a few games, but their defense was, it was fine. It was decent. So they have guys over there that are trying to make this roster, that are working hard. It's not like their defense is set in stone.
No.
Are you looking at the 42nd guy in the depth chart trying to light Bo Nix up and take him out of the game?
Yeah.
Or do you think maybe because Sean Payton doesn't seem to give a shit about this depth chart anyway, that he defies it and puts in Bo Nix second and plays Zach Wilson most of the second half, just for that, all those reasons, like you said, different offensive linemen, guys that aren't necessarily going to make the team, because we don't know if he's even going to stick to this depth chart for the first preseason game at all.
Beyond Stidham.
I think everything you said, it's unofficial.
Yeah.
I loved how
I
loved how the Broncos sent that out. That would be something. Oh man, wouldn't that get everyone talking? Oh, I told you Zach Wilson won't be here anymore. He was third on the depth chart. He was.
Bo Nix already passed him up.
I think Sean Payton is a little too hard-headed to give anyone that type of ammunition.
Yeah.
I think because he'll be asked that all week long, and and then we'll get the next question again.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be terrifying to watch tomorrow. We'll see. Check it out, but make sure you listen to the Dan Jacobs show because that's obviously going to be destroying the ratings of the Bronco game. So we'll be giving you updates. You won't actually have to have the game on, but listen to us instead.
Selfish plug there. Hey Joe, what are you doing tomorrow?
Not much.
With me? Oh no, you're working the radio station tomorrow. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll hang out and watch it for sure. We just gotta do it digitally. No.
Yeah, no thanks.
I don't know. I want to get on Zoom and watch a game.
Yeah. There's obviously some spots, like you said, Colin. There's spots that we still, besides quarterback, we have to watch. We have a wide receiver issue right now that we don't know who's who in America's all-stars right now. You got a running back train that's 50 cars long and taking up 2 crossing sections right now, it seems like. And you still have that defense that has a lot of questions. They still need a safety. How solid is the secondary? You're starting now a season without Josie Jewell, so you lose one of your leaders.
It is not solid right now. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Iowa legend Josie Jewell.
Yep, he's on to more humid pastures in Jacksonville, I guess.
Definitely humid.
Does humidity make a jewel shinier? Maybe.
I guess we'll find out. They paid him, so who might argue?
Yeah. I would go anywhere they would pay me. Hence, that's why I'm sure we all would, but we're all undrafted, and that's why we're here just talking about the guys who were.
No, Josie Jewell was drafted.
Most of the guys who were.
Oh man. Well, so we talked about it Sunday or Monday, whatever day it was, and USA had a little bit of they were struggle bus a little bit there today with France after a little bit of a struggle bus there with Serbia. Again, it was you guys saying they were playing with their food, but France wasn't really going away very easily, even if Steph was on fire. If it wasn't for the fact that they were like 9 for 36 beyond the arc, that game's a lot closer than what that scoreboard reads.
Yeah, if Evan Fournier, don't Google his last name, makes a couple of more threes, they keep themselves in it. But honestly, I didn't really feel like they had much going into it anyway. I was just coming off the emotional high of the Serbia-USA game. The game was phenomenal. That was so much fun to watch.
That was. And
so that I kind of just was like almost numb watching some of the USA-France game. So I really wasn't. I had doing all this stuff too, but I wasn't paying a ton of attention.
Yeah, France had some chances. I think they got it. Wembanyama hit a 3 today. That got the team to within 6. I want to say was as close as it got. It was. I told this to one of the guys at work the other day. I was like, take whatever line that they have for Team USA to win, because it's at like 16 and whatever, and just dumb it down to 11 points. So I don't know if he did that or not. But I was like, just play it down to like 11. You still get some plus money, maybe get some plus money, or you'll get a decent amount of plus money. I don't know what it opened at, but after all of these other games, like you said, Nick, they played with their food. They had, at one point it was a 40-point. They were plus 40 to win to beat South Africa or Sudan or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Sudan.
And then it dropped to 29 because of a scare. But none of these games, not that they were particularly close, except for the one that LeBron had to hit the buzzer beater, it still felt like Team USA was in control of all of them, but they let these other teams play. And I'm not saying they let them, because these other teams are much better than the 92 Dream Team that we talk about so often.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, just the roster alone, we're never gonna have that kind of team ever again, and we were lucky enough to be able to witness it.
Yeah.
These guys can try and have the moxie that team had, but nobody's gonna match that moxie and talent ever.
No, they almost lost to Serbia. If Serbia manages Jokic's minutes a little bit better and doesn't let him get that foul at the end of the game, like that changed everything.
Yeah,
like Team USA had nothing until Jokic got his 4th foul, and then he couldn't defend Embiid nearly as much. Like Jokic is up there knocking balls into the rim, which is goaltending in the NBA, but not in FIBA. He's just hanging back there because there's no defensive 3-second. Like, dude, he looked like a fucking defensive savant out there. Like they were all hitting shots. But I felt like they didn't manage their minutes enough. Like when they were up by a whole bunch, you need to take advantage of that and let Jokic get some fucking rest, and make sure he doesn't get all these fouls, because that was one of the things they did with Embiid and Anthony Davis is just keep sending big guys at Jokic. And then they kept missing shots. And for whatever reason, even though I love the guy, Vasilije Micic, the former EuroLeague MVP, the other point guard was better. Petrosev, the guy they started for most of the game, he was hitting shots. He just played better. And it felt like a mistake to not have him out there at the end. The other guys looked tired. And I don't know what the hell took Bogdan Bogdanovic so long to foul Steph Curry, or if the ref just didn't notice and he was fouling him the whole time, but like there was so many little things that was like, man, they had it. It was right there. And they let it slip away. And Team USA, they're full of superstars. So you can't give them an inch because they're going to take a mile.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You're tuned into Undrafted Uncensored. Those of you watching us on whatever platform, we're right now just discussing Team USA's gold medal men's basketball team, getting ready to transition over to the women's soccer team real quick as Mallory, no longer Pugh, but she is Mallory. Crap. Why can't
I can't remember who she got married to either.
Couldn't tell
I was
you.
just talking about him. Swanson. There it is. Mallory Swanson. Jeez.
She married Ron Swanson?
Making fun of him. And so
Ron
Dansby Swanson's Dansby's gonna have to do some work now because she's got more gold than he does. And baseball's coming back to the Summer Olympics, so he's gonna have to figure something out.
Really? Okay, that's cool. Is it gonna be professionals allowed or amateurs only?
They're talking about letting MLB players in.
Dude.
So that's the discussion right now. Do they do like hockey and take a 2-week break and let these guys go play in the Olympics? Do they just pick and choose players from the MLB and let the season continue to roll with what I guess replacement players?
I wouldn't. Because they're going to either they end up having to take subpar players as a result of that, or they, yeah, exactly. Japan versus US. That's all I'm thinking about. Also, great name, Camels and Penguins. That's a good one.
That's my brother.
That's well, your brother's got a cool name. Good work, Nick's brother. Yeah, no, I feel like they have to take some kind of break. But yeah, dude, so many of those Latin countries that have so many stars, Japan, obviously US, like that would be awesome. That's basically just like the World Baseball Classic, but
yeah,
for a medal. So it means more to each guy. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm down.
They can't pause the baseball season. There's simply too many baseball players from too many different countries that make up the entirety of baseball for that to happen. Excuse me. They can't continue the baseball season because there's too many players from too many different countries. If you're just filling your roster and taking major league players, you have to pause it. The season has to be paused no matter what. There's no way possible.
Could that be could that be how you work in the All-Star break too? Work in the All-Star break around the same time so that you have the All-Star team playing against Team USA for your new your All-Star game basically.
You'd have to cancel the All-Star game, I feel like.
Yeah, then what's your All-Star game? I don't think you can do that. Because you're losing your all-stars and Major League Baseball doesn't want to take away from what is actually the only competitive all-star game out there.
Yeah.
And really the best show of an all-star game since the NFL quarterback club at the Pro Bowl.
Since the Major League Baseball game, the show,
the home run derby. That is the best.
Everybody loves the derby.
Audition of just I guess whatever. It's the best exhibition for a Pro Bowl or All-Star weekend in all of the sports. Hockey has some fun stuff, but nothing is as good as the home run derby. So yeah, you can't take any of that away from the season because then you're stealing. I mean, Nick, you would probably go buy a Ryan McMahon jersey for the All-Star game. Because he's the only Rocky who would make it for that,
I would.
You wouldn't make Team USA.
I would have this year, but God, they were fugly. I did not like them.
But it would take too much money out of Major League Baseball's pocket to lose the All-Star game. Do they skip it for a year? Maybe they could skip it for a whole year, but it's LA 2028, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we have all-star games. We only have the next through 2027.
Yeah.
So maybe next year, don't we have sites for the next 3?
Yeah. Yeah, the next 3 are chosen. I don't remember where next year was.
So I feel like you cancel All-Star game. Maybe you guys just give them their All-Star bonuses, but you don't have an All-Star game that year.
Kind of have the vote, and this is
Because you
what
can't
you get.
you can't take away guys All-Stars because sometimes their bonuses hinge on stuff like that. So
Next year's Truist Park,
beautiful.
unless Atlanta says something stupid again, and
I thought Atlanta was next year.
yeah, and then the Phillies in 26, maybe. And it looks like that's it for now. It's just those 2.
Okay. Well, maybe
28.
Maybe for 2028 they just don't have an All-Star game, but they wrote in guys as All-Stars. It would be different.
It would. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting thing to see. They're going to have to really talk with hockey about how they do their pause and then ramp back up again because, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love watching Olympic hockey. That's a kick in the pants.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I think
anytime
you would
get
have to
50
pause
bucks,
it. I think that's necessary. You just end up with November baseball.
That's going to make some angry managers, though, because you're going to have pitchers that aren't pitching for 2 weeks. So they're going to have to, that's going to, because I mean, not to take away from, not that hockey's like an easy sport, but baseball is so based on routine, especially with pitchers. Pitchers have their routine, every 5 days I'm pitching, then it's a day off, then it's stretching, then it's, the massage table and workout, and then it's pregame, whatever stuff, and then they throw again.
Do you think they'd rather be without their best players for a couple of weeks than to end up having to rehabilitate their pitcher? I mean, this will work out great for the Rockies because they won't have anybody on any Olympic team.
They may have no choice.
Yeah, the only person that could do it is not going to be able to throw again because they keep on trying to push him back too quick.
Yeah.
But
thanks, Ramon. We miss you again. We was good to see you for one game.
My guy German.
But I will say, not everybody's a creature of habit. I mean, I missed my last 2 games last weekend, and I came back today, and I was hitting swamp donkeys out there. All right,
and
Matthew Jarebker, the man, Matthew Jarebker. Shout out Jarebker. He was like, "Damn, your swing is looking pretty damn good. Like even on your foul balls, it was looking good." He's like, "I got to play you up the middle a little bit more."
Oh, that's funny.
I hit some ropes today.
You guys play the Padres?
No, we're not in that league. Played the oh my goodness, the other one that Rapid played for. We're in the old man's league, not the Padres.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I'm blanking on it, but yeah, it was fun.
Well, that kind of transitioned over pretty easily. So Major League Baseball is going to take a game next year from the Cincinnati Reds, and they're going to put them in the Bristol Motor Speedway. They're going to hold a baseball game at a racetrack across the infield and across part of the racing track, I guess. I want to go out of sheer curiosity. I don't know why. Why? Is this just to gauge attendance in Tennessee?
It's for attention.
Was it Tennessee? Yeah, Tennessee.
Is it? Maybe. Is the MLB thinking about expanding? Are they going to try to get some more clubs?
They've been talking about it, but they've got enough cities that they don't.
I think I'm with you. I think I would go and check it out, but I don't care. I wouldn't want prioritize watching it on TV. But I also don't watch baseball. But even as just a sports fan in general, that doesn't seem like enough of a difference. But it'd be fun to go check out in person for sure. It seems weird enough to go once.
I mean, I love it in all honesty because you have this, you build it, and you have the outfield maybe where you got just some grass seating. Put some chain link fence around there, make it real little league like. I mean, seriously, have some fun with it. Make it a hill out there or something. that you can sit on. You know,
Use
you
tires
still have,
for the
you
wall.
still have your grandstand. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, seriously, you could have a lot of fun with this, and I hope Major League Baseball has fun with it. I'm all for it if the things for the players can be done correctly. I mean, if the playing field can be made safe, that's first and foremost, because I don't want guys out there, you know, running onto, if they have to go onto the track, which I highly doubt they have to. Those infields for racetracks are pretty damn big.
They're
They have a lot of space. So if you could put those guys out there and make it safe enough, I mean, have fun out there. Yeah, build a tire mound for your hill and have seats out of tires. I don't know how safe that is in blistering Tennessee heat, but yeah, you know, like sit on the tire. You could have a lot of fun with this, and I would be down to check it out. You know, make it feel Little League like in a lot of ways.
You know, can we have a Truckosaurus in the background somewhere? Like,
You know,
not somewhere where the ball would actually hit, but like just in the vicinity, you know?
Hit the Slurpee. Everyone gets free Slurpees the next day in America.
There you go. Ooh.
You know, I don't know. Just you could do a lot of stuff. You know, make some cars passing in the background. You hit a car like a golf cart with a home run. That company gives away whatever free product. You know,
you gotta have some kind of pit stop somewhere too.
An oil change back and forth.
Like,
it's 3 hours.
Second and third. Between second and third, have a pit stop.
Right.
I want a Ricky Bobby card out there with a cougar painted on it.
You know, that's part of what I said earlier. If you ain't first, you're last. I want to go fast.
Ricky, I was high when I said that.
But really, I do hope that Major League Baseball, in all seriousness, has some fun with it and kind of Savannah Bananas it up a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be a really cool opportunity to have baseball in a brand new, different environment and something unique. And it might just be a one-off, and we might not ever get it again. But it would be cool for Major League Baseball to have fun, because I think some of the fun gets taken out of the game. As much as we hated the center field in like Houston,
the Hill,
they took it out of Albuquerque also.
Yeah,
those things I understand. It was a safety issue, and there was a lot more to it than anything. But that was still kind of fun, because you were like, oh, you never know what's going to happen. Just like you still never know what's going to happen with a bounce off the green monster.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some fun stuff about baseball, but screw these cookie cutter stadiums. Let's do something unique.
Yeah,
we can make the Truckosaurus green and call it the Green Monster.
Yeah, that's kind of
have him like with his mouth open, and everybody again gets like free Slurpees or something.
Yeah,
if you hit it into the mouth, he goes.
Fireworks go off his eyes. Yeah.
Like mini golf. I love it.
The player that hits the ball in the Truckosaurus, when they get it back, it's all charred. They're like,
they give him just a black baseball back.
First home run in racetrack. Here's your s'more.
You know, Chevy, Ford, whoever. I don't know who's the big one down there, but Dodge, like you get you give away a truck, you get your sponsorship all over that. I mean,
oh yeah.
There's some really cool stuff that you could do if you want to be creative with this. And I think you just throw everything at the wall with an event like this, because you could fit so many damn people there.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and it looks like they're not even taking advantage of how big that seating area is. I mean, even if you just go around the one side and cut it off like halfway down the thing, down the racetrack, I mean, it's still those things. I mean, those things they hold thousands of people.
I think they hold like 100,000 plus.
Yeah, those things are. I mean, those are massive, and that's not even counting the people in the infield that are watching the race, and then the ones outside that are barbecuing and tailgating and rednecking it up, and
that are mod flandering and getting knocked off the top and dying.
I hope not.
You could take advantage. That's what I'm saying. You could take advantage of the infield and the track area and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested to see. I hope they have fun with it. And
I'm
they
intrigued.
add
I want
some
to,
different
I want to
things,
see the
too.
final plans and everything. I don't know. It
Yeah.
might be better than I think it's going to be, but we'll see.
I love your chain link fence idea, so you can have the NASCAR fans in the field area, reaching gloves over the fence like you have in the actual game. But yeah.
Speaking of that, real quick before we go on, did you guys see that Cubs fan rob everybody in the stadium of Chick-fil-A?
No.
So I think it was in Houston. He was sitting on the foul pole, on the foul side of the foul pole, and somebody cranks one right towards the pole, and he reaches over and grabs the ball right as it's going to hit the pole. And if it hits the foul pole, everybody gets free Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
But he caught it, and so the ball never hit the pole, so they never got the Chick-fil-A. They counted the home run, but he didn't get Chick-fil-A because he didn't hit the pole.
I feel like Chick-fil-A should have honored it and just given it anyway.
Right?
That is definitely losing, and that's not what we do here in the victory formation.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kinda winging it.
Well, I probably shouldn't say that we don't do any losing in the victory formation, because this week one of us went 0-4, one of us went 2-2, and one of us went 3-1. Let's
Sounds like last week.
get into it. Pretty close, I think, to last week. I don't think
All we
had,
do
I-
is
we didn't
lose,
have an
no
0-4
matter
last
what.
week.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's get into how it went. Well, the first game that we chose was the Phillies Dodgers, and it really didn't matter which game we chose between this matchup, because the Phillies beat the Dodgers on Tuesday and Wednesday of last week. So Joe and I were incorrect on that. Nick loves the Phillies and Bryce Harper. You heard it here first, everybody.
It's his
Bryce
favorite player.
Fan Club, right over there in the bottom left at Nick
All about them
Arch.
score bombs, baby. All about them
So
score bombs.
Nick gets that one right. Next, we move on to the Eagles and Ravens in prime time preseason football, maybe. And I'm kind of questioning. I kind of want to go back and see if these picks were correct, if we chose them correctly. But actually, I do remember it. Well, Nick and I both got this one right. We both chose the Eagles. I just was wondering how Nick chose the Eagles, and I remember you were in Philadelphia, and that's why. Because I think you would have chosen the Ravens if you were not in Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania.
That makes sense.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I was closer to Pittsburgh.
It's all in the same state.
But it's crazy. We were like probably 35 minutes away from each other, Nick. That's kind of fun.
I know, right?
So Nick and I got that one right. We both win $24 for that. Joe, obviously you're on your way to 0-4, because next it was Canada and France.
Yep, I could tell.
Well, we all know what happened there. I was the only one to pick. France. How do you like that?
Canada did not show up.
And I could see it too. I was like, they're so small. Their front court is like, it's so subpar. Like, they're great in the back, but like, dude, Dylan Brooks and Norman Powell. Yeah, I should have fucking gone with, but that's how I do with basketball. I should always take the other team.
At plus 275. I won $37.50 on that one. And guess what, guys? That wasn't even the biggest one of the week, because we had Brazil versus Spain. Brazil was a plus 490 to win this one, or to lose. Spain was a huge favorite, and we all know what happened there. Brazil won, winning me $59. Nick and Joe both incorrect on that, choosing Brazil or Spain. Once again, you got to go with what you saw in the women's volleyball. That's how you judge everything. So with that this week, that means Joe, biggest loser at minus $40. Nick in second, winning $23.52. I won big, $110.50, meaning Nick is now in first place.
Oh,
At 571.16. Joe, you're in second at 529.68. I'm still in third, but less than $100 behind at 429.80.
I gotta take this serious now.
We don't. It's football season. What do you think was going to happen once we started to pick football games, Nick? I told you, but
I gotta get
you were worried
serious.
about it too.
I gotta put my big pants on.
All right. Well, we move into this week. Obviously, not a ton to choose from because of all these delays, and WNBA will still be on delay. By the way, Team USA go get the gold again. Where Team USA is 1 gold behind China currently for the lead in gold medals.
Thank you. I meant to mention that, and I.
You're welcome. I gotcha. All encompassing here in the victory formation. But if you don't get the last goal and beat China, we're not talking about you, USA. Let's talk about 2 teams who are winning as of late. That is the Mets and the Mariners. That is Sunday Night Baseball. Mets travel to Seattle. Oh my goodness, why am I blanking on his name? The purple dude.
Grimace
is Grimace. I was gonna say Gritty, but I was like, it's not the Gritty.
No,
is Grimace still holding his luck for the Mets, or will the Mariners sink him out or send him out to sea? How about that? Nick, who you got?
Oh man, I mean, Mets had turned. They're still a little spotty. They're not 100% there, but they're really hard to kind of walk away from right now. I'm going to say Sevy turns it around, and it's going to be the Mets.
Joe, who you got?
Give me the Grimace.
I knew mentioning Grimace and Joe would just take the Mets because of that. I'm taking the Mariners. They were one of my preseason picks also to make it very far in the playoffs. They have had a very good season so far.
They've turned it around since the trade deadline, too.
They are contending with the Astros. They've been on a tear. So give me the Mariners at home. Next, we move on to the Cowboys versus the Rams, which is happening tomorrow at the same time the Broncos play the Colts. So a game that no one will really be watching in Colorado.
Nope.
And not many people around the country will care about either. But we care because you can put fake bets with real money well, how do we do it? Yeah. Real bets, fake money. On it. So, Joe, who are you going to choose?
I don't know.
Cowboys minus 200, Rams plus 160.
Okay. I kind of feel like the Cowboys are going to end up winning preseason games and not regular season games, but also they don't have a lot of depth, and the Rams are solid. But Sean McVay doesn't care at all about preseason. Yeah, I'm gonna go Cowboys.
You know what, Joe? You nailed it on the head there. Sean McVay does not care about preseason, and I also think McCarthy, possibly on the hot seat, needs to win as much as possible. So give me the Cowboys also. Nick?
I think the Rams trip into an accidental win.
No, I could. I mean, they don't have Brett Rippin Farts as their backup anymore.
No,
they do have the 65-year-old
Chase Daniel.
No. Damn it! The quarterback from Georgia.
Oh, Stetson Bennett.
There it is.
Stetson Bennett, 65-year-old Stetson Bennett. Still, I believe. All right. Now we move on to the gold medal match, the last one of the last ones.
Team USA.
No, second to one of the last ones. It's men's water polo.
Oh, this ought to be good.
You have your choice between Croatia at plus 100.
Oh, good.
Serbia at minus 135, or a draw at plus 500. I'm guessing the draw means a draw in regular time, and then it's decided in sudden death, because I don't know how you could have a gold medal match with a draw in it.
Yeah, that makes
I'll
no
just
sense.
get one like a participation trophy. I hate that.
So, because there is a draw option, and I'm down so much, I'm just going with the draw for plus 500.
I love it.
Nick, who you got?
I want to see a big parade So I want Serbia to be on parade with Joker.
Yep. Joe, who you got?
I love both of those picks. Should I just take Croatia just to fucking, run the cycle?
So someone can have a win. It's your fake money that you're making real bets with.
That's true. I kind of like draw also because that sounds really funny. Fuck it. I'm going to stick with the Croatia thing. We'll just all pick different things and see what happens.
I like it.
See, I was originally going to go Serbia, and then I was like, where the hell's the money line on this? And then I finally saw the money line, and it was money line for both teams, and then a draw. I'm like, well, I was definitely going Serbia until that happened. But with that being said, we got to send this podcast into space.
Oh, there we go. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you. Without you, we couldn't do this. I mean, we would do it, but it wouldn't be as fun as it is now. Thank you to my brother for jumping in on the chat line. We appreciate your comments, and I know you got way more witty comments than what you got going on now. Thank you, Michael Spillane, and everybody over at e5280sports.com for having us, hosting us, and loving us like we love you. Don't forget to check out all the other shows, Wheelhouse, Between the Lines, Gridiron Intel, and a whole bunch more. And thank you to Pikes Peak Sports Cards as our sponsor. Check out their website to find out when the next card show is. And as always, thank you guys. We love you. We appreciate you. And may the force be with you.
Thanks for the warning.
And also with you.